I had a dream the other night that these planters had been stolen, and we got to the allotment to find 4 piles of soil on the ground. So, yeah, it's nice to see them still here and in one piece. I think it's well and truly had it now, guys. I didn't know I'd left my tripod here. That was a bit daft. Yeah. Okay. So this is not really a plot tour, but it's kind of a plot tour, guys, because it's February now. We've had a funny couple of weeks, if I'm honest, and I haven't been at the plot. So I'm not going to be up here for very long today, but I do think I need to clear this up. So that's what I'm going to get on with now. Let's start in the polytunnel, as there is actually something growing in here. So there's the perpetual spinach, as always. It looks like it might need a little bit of water, that one on the side. It's getting nibbled, but it's doing all right. The Arctic King lettuce is doing really well. It's nice and warm in here. It's absolutely lovely. It's a lovely place to be in here. My dad says it was his favourite place because it's bright and it's warm, and at this time of year when you don't use those two words very often, it's really beneficial. So yes, and I'm so excited about the potential for this space in the coming year. I ate the last of my frozen fresh tomatoes that I grew yesterday, so and I was like, oh, I can't wait till there's more. So yeah, so something growing in there at least. There's still lots of stuff to get rid of and find homes for. On here, this plastic was given to us by someone, and we think we'll probably be able to reuse it somewhere. Cabbages, yeah, the less said about those the better, I think. Yeah, and this, I've just piled it up because I don't want it to go through the polytunnel. I'll probably move it again. I'll put it on the bed over there, but we might be able to save the panels and create a cold frame or something if we need to. Lots of stuff to organise still here. At least it's quite neat. I'm very worried that things will get blown against the polytunnel though. We don't want to have to remove these flags already to dig out the trench that the polytunnel cover's buried in. This bit's looking as we left it. I love it. The level of the soil has shrunk. Obviously, all the rain we've had, it's settled since we've dug it in. So I'm going to top these up at some point. But what I top it up with will depend on what I'm going to plant in here. One of these is going to be a strawberry bed. Probably that one. Possibly that one, actually, because the shed does shade it a bit. So yeah, I'm not sure what everything's going to be yet, but we'll see. I am going to plant a jasmine that I've already got here. It's Jasminium Stephanese, and it's a pink summer flowering jasmine, but I want to paint the shed, or at least this side of the shed first. We've got to apply to the council and the allotment site, the secretary of the allotments rather, to ask permission to put the fence in, and we will paint the fence the same colour as the shed. I did look into my rules, and I can't paint the shed a funny colour. It's got to be a funny colour. You know, I can't paint it a bright colour. It's got to be brown, or I think it's like a dark green. So I'm going to just paint it with a dark stain that we've got tons of at home. Save a bit of money, eh? I've decided that the arches, I'm going to create a bean frame with them. I was originally going to make a bean A-frame, an upside down A-frame in this bed with the foxgloves, but I'm not going to now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over one of the paths, possibly this one, with it. Now, obviously these are 1.4 metres wide, I think, and these paths are obviously nowhere near that. But what I can do is I can plant the beans on the outside of the frame. If the arch kind of goes from there to over here, obviously taller than that, then I will plant lettuce on the inside where it's shadier, so that we can maximise the space and we don't lose that space, but we make a nice bean arch. Of course, I might do it in down one of the other beds. I'm not sure yet, but that's what we're going to do. I'll put all three arches together, tie them together, and yeah, it should be good. I will put some strings up the arches as well. I don't like using pea and bean netting because I always get myself tangled up and just, you know, it's a disaster. So I'll just run strings up and attach them to the horizontal bars as they go up and round. Yeah, foxgloves, These are this year's, so they will flower this year. Obviously don't look very good now, but they're not going to. There's some garlic in here as well from my dad's last year. Quite a few weeds as well need to come out. This bed's starting to get weedy again. Let's have a look at the rows. Let's see if there's some new shoots. Oh yeah, we've got some new shoots on here. I need to tie this into this wall somehow. This is a rambling rector rose, which is a huge rambling rose. And I do want to, to train it along this wall and keep it looked after and managed, because it will get huge. Yeah, but look at this bed. The garlic's looking great. It's this side here isn't coming up as quick, but that doesn't matter as long as we get there. Slow and steady wins the race, eh? We're alright. And there's some daffodils as well, dotted about, which is lovely. And I would like to add to that next year. I haven't really done much with spring bulbs this year, but I would like to next year. This bed needs weeding. This has got the asparagus in. I don't know how well the asparagus will survive because it's been very wet. That looks the same as it did before. I think we need to just spend a week down here, but that means Mark using a week of his precious week of his 4 weeks a year annual leave to do that. So I think I'm gonna have to get cracked on when the kids go back. And obviously we haven't been in here, so this is pretty much the same as it was. It's still nice and organised. Again, it's lovely and warm in here. I love this place. This is probably my favourite. Now there is an armchair in that shed down there. A leather armchair that my dad brought, and I think I'm going to be tempted to put it in here, to be honest, so that I can come up and sit with my cuppa. I think that'll be really nice. So yes, other news, we've recently hit 500 subscribers. Now, I've got 500 today. I had 501 yesterday, and we've dropped down to 500. So I'm a little bit afraid that by the time this video goes out, we might be on 499. And I might look like I'm talking nonsense. So at the time of filming, we do have 500 subscribers. And I'm so grateful. I'm so amazed, to be honest. So thank you so much. I know this video is not the most exciting, and there's no action shots this week. But we will be back to normal service soon. Spring is coming. It's February, I haven't even sown my chilies yet, so I'm going to sow them possibly this afternoon. And then probably buy some plants as well, just in case, because I can't not have chilies this year. So, yes, I think that might be the best idea.
So, it's time to go home, but before I do, I'm just going to go and sit down, get myself a soggy bottom, and enjoy the view before it's time to go. So, yeah, I love this place. But let's go home, and I'll show you what's going on in the garden.
Well, I'm home, guys, and I thought if I'm doing a tour of nothing, I might as well show you twice as much nothing. So, nothing's really changed anywhere, including here at home. So, but I might still show you around and just talk about what's in the garden. Right, so I thought I might actually just show you what's actually in the borders along here. It looks really messy, doesn't it? I mean, it's not it's not looking pretty, but there's a lot of good stuff in here, so I thought I would refresh my own memory and show you what's going on. So the first thing is there's a honeysuckle there. Look at its roots are really protruding. I don't know what's happened there, why we've got such a dip, but we have. Now I don't know the variety of this honeysuckle, and it's growing over a little bit more on this side than I'd like it because it's resting in a salvia here. Now quite often the leaves die off as soon as the branch gets above this wall, and I assume it's because of the wind, but it's doing all right now actually. So hopefully it'll be a better year for it this year, but I do need to sort it out and get it moving more along to the left. This is, I believe, an armeria. It didn't do much last year because it was covered up by something else that I can't remember what it was that was here. So I've uncovered it. It's a lovely little flower. I think it's a white one, this one. It's really pretty when it's allowed to survive. We've got an aquilegia there with some lovely little raindrops on it. And down here we've got a Dabracia and a salvia. I don't remember planting that salvia, so I'm not quite sure what it is, but yeah. We've got some daffodils there, and they're growing up through this salvia that I've planted really badly. It's like raised up, it's not properly bedded in, and I can't do anything about that now. It's got daffs coming through it, but This is icing sugar. Now, it's not looking so good, but it is deciduous. I'm really hopeful that that's going to survive. I mean, it does have some new growth there, so hopefully it will be okay. Now, I've got a salvia there that's not looking so great, but it might survive. This is, there's lots of different kinds of salvias. I don't really know the classifications, if I'm totally honest, but this is one of those like purple one with the spiky flowers, whereas this is like a hot lips type variety, this icing sugar one. And I've just realised this is a Dianthus barberini. It's Rockin' Robin, and it's growing up there. Needs cutting back, like everything else. But this is a Geum Coral Tempest, and it's got buds on it. It's not looking the healthiest, I'll be honest, but it's got buds on it, which I'm surprised about. It is beautiful. I got it last year, and it's a gorgeous plant. It's supposed to flower for months. It didn't. It had one flourish of flowers, and then it didn't flower again. But it was its first year, and it was getting established, so I don't mind that at all. And to be honest, even if it flowered once, the flowers were so lovely, it was absolutely worth it anyway. We've got a scabious down here that's not looking so good, but we'll probably be fine, because they tend to do okay in my garden, and I do love scabious. Got a dahlia that I'm probably going to take out, because it's just an annual one, and I didn't love it, if I'm honest. This is an aster. I got these from 50p. I think they were 50p. I got 2 of them from Morrison's. They'd not been watered, and they were absolutely dead as a dodo. They looked it anyway, and I got them, and I brought them home and I planted them, and they have been amazing, absolutely amazing. Just needed a bit of TLC to bring them back. We've got another abretia here. They're all different colours, purples obviously. Then we've got all my allium bulbs, which have been dug up by something. Some of them look half eaten, but they're still trying. They're really trying, so I'm going to see if I can salvage those and plant them, because I love my alliums. And then we've got this rose. This is a repeat flowering rambler called Lady of the Lake. And we have this one because this is a David Austin. And we have this because Mark and I got married in the Lake District, and we had our evening reception on one of the steamers on Ullswater. And it was called Raven. But one of the other boats that we didn't get married on was called Lady of the Lake, so it's a tenuous link, but it's my reasoning behind it. I don't need a lot of encouragement to buy a rose, especially a David Austin rose. But that's my, it reminds me of our wedding, having our reception on the steamer on Ullswater on a lovely day. It was summer solstice. It was very lovely. So yeah, then we got some Japanese anemones, which I'd rather weren't growing there, because I've moved them from here, and it's they're very invasive, Japanese anemones. They're gorgeous. I love them. I recommend them to anybody. But if you plant them, make sure you are happy with where you're planting them, because if you try and dig them out and move them later, you're just going to get them coming up and up all the time. So I have lots of little ones coming up all over. I might let some of them live. We'll see. I generally, when I dig them up, I generally give them away. Try not to throw them, because they're really nice. There's a Verbena bonariensis there that's not looking that great. Daffodil bulbs there. I've got something coming up here, which looks a bit allium-like, but shouldn't be there. Unless somebody's reburied it. I don't know. Did I tell you about this Alyssum sextile? I can't remember, but that's gorgeous, and it's beautiful golden flowers on it. Really lovely. There's some dead annuals here, some dahlias. This is another Dianthus barberini, Rockin' Robin, which is a gorgeous red colour. And then we've got this Geum Coral Tempest again, which, again, gorgeous. I don't know if we've got any flowers coming on this one. No, that's the Dianthus. This is a Lithadora, I believe. It's got beautiful blue flowers. Didn't do much last year because it was completely swamped by the flowers that are behind it, which I can't remember what that is. I think it might be an osteospermum. It needs to come out anyway because it's an annual. This is my Cosmos Purity that needs shifting. It's dead, obviously, it's an annual. And there's another aster under there, which has got some nice regrowth coming at the bottom there. And in here we've got Thalictrum, which I'm hoping, I think these little sticks of the Thalictrum, I'm really hoping they survive, because I've tried so many years with Thalictrum. This is Thalictrum splendide, and it's beautiful. So I'm really hoping it survives. There's a couple in there. More daffs. This is a wisteria. I don't know the variety, but I've been trying for several years to grow it as a tree. Haven't really done anything with it for a couple of years, and then last year I put it in the ground. It'd been in a small pot, so hopefully it'll be happier in there. We've got some cosmos branches that need clearing away from it as well. And then here we've got Obretia, and there should be here, well, I can't see it actually, Snow in Summer, which I'm really hoping it hasn't died. But I can't see it. I mean, it might just be in and amongst this Obretia. So, we'll see. We'll see. And then this is my penstemon. I love this. It's plum jerkum. Obviously, it's collapsed now. It flowers for months. Semi-evergreen. And it looked quite nice until about a couple of weeks ago. I think the snow the other day that we had has completely trashed it as well, finished it off. And underneath there's some miniature bells, which is also a penstemon, which is lovely. And I do, in this corner down here, can't see it yet, but in this corner down here I have some Solomon's seal that will emerge soon. And then I have another penstemon here, which again I haven't deadheaded. I do like to make sure that my little bugly friends have got a nice home through the winter. That one is apple blossom and it's gorgeous. It hasn't done as well as the plum jerkum, but it is really beautiful, and hopefully over the years it will look a bit more impressive. And then I've got a rose here. This is supposed to be English Miss, but it isn't. Now I want to show you this because I don't know what this is. Let's hope the camera can focus. There you go. What's that? It's very shiny little black balls. Let's make sure it's focusing. I've just recorded this video once already and the camera was out of focus the whole time, so I'm trying to make sure that you can see what I'm showing you. Lots of bitter cress here that needs to come out, lots of weeding to do. In and amongst all the weeds is a campanula there, which is a really beautiful white one, quite tall. There's a couple of scabious down here. I think these are muscari or great hyacinth, which I love. This was an osteospermum, an annual one. I think that was a dahlia. An annual, well, not an annual, they're all perennials, aren't they? But you know, like a little supermarket one that's. And look at that guy. Look at that little beaut. Guy on his own. Some more great hyacinths there. It's quite a bit through the back there. And then this rose, this is Summer Wine. It's new to me. Let's see if I can get to focus again. It's new to me. I got it from the Rose Press Garden. It's got some little red shoots coming up there. I hope that they are going to come true and they're not from the graft, but we'll see. I got them as bare root. Lizzie from the Rose Press Garden, she had a big sale on and I couldn't resist. So I got 3 roses from her. I'll show you the others another time because they're on the side. I'll do a tour of the front garden as well at some point, but that'll probably have to be a voiceover because I'll feel like a bit of a numpty. And look at this guy! Oh, can you see? Can we zoom? Can we focus, I mean? There we go. There we go. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah, we've got lots of vetch at the back there and some more muscari. And then here, we've got another Lithidora. And we've got this salvia here, which is Nachtlinde, which is a beautiful purple salvia. And I planted it here, but unfortunately, I'd had Japanese anemones here before, and they just swamped it. So I really need to get in here with a spade. And oh, I just got a splinter. I really need to get in here with a spade and separate these two and make sure. The Japanese anemones were massive in here, and they really are taking back over. So I might just give in to them here and just let them have this space back and find somewhere else for that salvia. So I'm not sure. And then these were the planters. These are all going. We're going to reuse the wood for the allotment to clad the greenhouse probably. These were geraniums, pelargoniums, aren't they really technically? And you got some cornflower seeds there. Seedlings rather. These are pak choi that I didn't eat, so I've left for the buglies, sluggies. Little cornflower, and then some more there. This is a California privet that was my grandma's, and it defoliates every year in this garden. It's always been it's an evergreen, but it does defoliate because just because of the cold and the wind. It always comes back. We had some dahlias in there, but they're going to come out, and I'm going to put some a rose in there, something to climb up here, because this is like my rose wall. This is west facing, and this is Wollerton Old Hall, which needs some work doing. It's a climber, so I need to, you can't see it, can you? I'm not actually showing you it there, am I? So it needs to be sorted out because it keeps trying to grow into that hanging basket. I need to do some work and get a trellis on that wall. I want to replace this trellis as well with a willow one, a couple of willow ones, maybe 3 if I'm going to put a climber in that pot as well. This is peach melba, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I will insert some photographs of all these things. So yeah, and then in here we've got some more scabious that don't look very healthy right now. Cutting back. Lavender, which I didn't trim the lavender. I should have trimmed all the lavender, but I didn't. And another scabious. Down here we've got a weedy Sambucus nigra, which is a black elder. An Achillea, which I love. I think it's summer berries, that one. Yep. Then in here these planters are going as well. So we've just got some pak choi. But then in here I've got some scabious. These are ones I grew from seed. These are blue Ritz. I grew them from seed last year. We haven't had flowers yet. Well, we kind of had, I think we had a flower on these. So I'm going to sort those out so that we can hopefully move them and get some flowers. Over here is my little mock orange, which could do with going in the ground really, because it's been in that pot for too long. I've got a snow in summer, so if that snow in summer has died over there, then we've got a backup. This is from my mum's garden. I love snow in summer. It reminds me of my grandma because it was all over my grandma's garden, and my mum now lives in my grandma's house where my grandma lived, and there's still some of the original stuff in there, I believe, so you know, I love to keep it. And then is this London Pride, guys? My mum gave me it. I've got a feeling it's London Pride, but it might not be. It might be that one that's, I don't know, a different one. Thornless blackberry that needs to go to the allotment. A little herb shelf. I love this. Lots of thyme. That's an oregano. Oh, and look, a little Achillea seedling in there. I think there's a thistle in there as well. But most of this is thyme, except there's a couple of rosemaries and I think that's country cream oregano. Yeah, all of these. These are mostly from, not entirely, but most of these are from Urban Herbs. The trailing rosemary is certainly, and I think most of the creeping thymes are. And then we've got another creeping thyme in here. We've had some lobelia in here as well. This needs sorting out, but look, I just love the tiny, tiny leaves. Can we even get... Yeah, I just love it. And then we've got a lavender. And some old, again, lobelias. Didn't cut them back, so they're probably going to be woody and scraggly, but we'll see. And then we've got this Verbena bonariensis that should have gone out. Still looks like it's got some life in it, so hopefully it'll survive. We have had some very cold spells. Very mild, and then very cold. And in here, I don't think my Salvia Armistad is going to make it. Look at that. I've got 3 of them. Bought them at the end of the last season, and they all look mouldy. So, you know, we can but hope. But I think I might just cut the top growth off completely and see if I can, see if anything comes back. I need to get rid of this mould anyway. Clear it off. And then we've got my hardy geraniums. We've got a few that haven't sprouted, but it could be the time of year, and it could just be because they haven't made it. I'm not sure, but I don't know what colours they are because they were just a random pack. I do know the varieties, but I don't know which is which. That one got knocked on the floor in the storm. The other week we had 2 storms in 1 week, Storm Isha, and I forget the other one. But basically, Mark was sat in the dining room one night, and this window flew off and knocked on the patio doors. So we had to come out and came out and helped him, and we, in the dark, had to create some kind of system to stop it from happening again. I think it's because we've put it side on to the fence now instead of end on. So it does take the force of the wind a little bit harder than it used to do. So, yeah, all of this stuff, God knows if it's going to survive. Shasta daisies, salvias, This looks okay. Scabious. These are cuttings my dad gave me, they're fine. Some aquilesias in the back there. They're all kept moist, not watered regularly because they don't need it, but yeah, they should have been planted out ages ago. The Bina Bonariensis is not looking so good. Again, you see we've got the window shut all the time, so I do try and open it through the day to get ventilation in, but it's not a great environment for them really. Lupins my dad gave me, they should be fine. I need to find somewhere for those. I'm not sure what colour they are, I think they're a mix. This is the rose that was sold as Compassion but isn't. But I don't know what it is, but it's surviving in that little tray, so I'm going to have to find somewhere for that soon. And then these are the jasmines. They are deciduous, but they didn't lose their leaves because of a mild autumn. But now they are doing. So one of those is going to the allotment. I'm not sure which. Might take this one with the new growth. But I do, like I said, want to paint that shed first. So that's it, guys. And then, ooh, on my way to the allotment, I stopped at Tesco. Not for roses, for something completely different. But I came out with 2 roses. I've got Paul's Scarlet and Golden Climber, both climbing roses, both a similar sort of size. It says 1 to 2.5 metres, which is quite a big range, really. And yeah, my mum's neighbour has a rose called Scarlet, and it was gorgeous. I saw it, and I'm not really a red lover, if I'm honest. I like every colour in the garden, and I like red in nature, but red itself isn't a colour I choose very often. But that rose was just absolutely, it was just full of flowers, and it was beautiful. So, yes, I don't know where they're going to go. I don't know where anything's going to go, really. I need to get in the garden and get the annuals out and start to clear things down soon, and cut the roses that need root cutting and tie the ones in that need tying. There's lots to do. Cut things back, tidy things up, get those allium bulbs in, and see if we can see what space we've got. I always overplant, and sometimes that's fine and it gives you a really nice full look, and sometimes things just don't thrive because they don't have the room. So I've not quite nailed it yet, but we'll get there. Obviously we haven't done anything with the lawn. Or the garden in general, really. We had some snow the other day, so we've got some big footprints where my kids were climbing these once snow-capped mountains of compost. So yes, hanging basket brackets up there, ready for the bush variety tomatoes in the new season. So yeah, it looks like it's going to rain now, so I'm going to go in and put the kettle on. So I'll see you soon.